PM, courtroom 12C.
And then next person I have is Zumo. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Christopher Zumo.
Mr. Zumo, you're here for a failure to appear in 2021 MO 98AO. The judge set your bond amount of $1,000. We're going to ask the state of Florida to have an offer to resolve your case this morning.
Yes, Your Honor, a withhold, court costs, and $10 filing fee. Credit time served.
All right, sir, we'd like to accept the state's offer of a withhold adjudication and guilt and court costs to resolve your case today.
What?
Withhold of adjudication of guilt, court costs, and you get credit time served for, what, 3 days?
4 days.
4 days.
Can I get time served?
Yeah, that's what you're getting.
All right, cool.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Yep. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah, I solemnly swear to give the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yep, that's fine. Put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 98AO on a charge of open container. That's a city ordinance violation. It's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Did you have an opportunity to review a plea form this morning?
What is it?
The plea form that's in front of you, you have an opportunity to review that?
What do I do with this?
Did you read it?
Oh, where should I read it at?
I don't understand your question.
Where should I read it at?
Did you read the form? You read the whole form?
Oh, no, I didn't read the whole form.
All right. Well, take a quick gander at it real quick.
When they push it in the morning, I can read it right now.
Here already. About to sit down. You want to?
I read the part where the second degree misdemeanor is punishable up to 60 days in jail.
Right now, do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
No contest.
No contest.
All right. Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights that are listed on that form that you have in your hand?
What if I plead guilty?
Same thing. You still got to waive all the rights.
I totally understand.
I understand.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yeah. But
You gotta-
it was for, they doing drugs, something, it was.
All right. Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your mental health illness right now?
No.
All right. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
What is it?
If you're not a United States citizen, you can be deported from this country by entering this plea. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
I had the opportunity to review the charging affidavit while I was in chambers this morning. I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is free and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication of guilt, give you credit for the 4 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 4 days credit time served. The court costs in this case are $223 with a $10 filing fee. I will make those costs payable directly to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand?
Can you repeat that last one?
You have 30 days from today's date if you want to appeal your judgment and sentence, like appeal to say that, I didn't have jurisdiction over you or the sentence I imposed was illegal. You have 30 days to do that. You have to do it in writing, though.
I'll call and say that what I need to say.
All right.
Can you give me a copy of what I need to say, because I can't remember that.
No. If you want to appeal, like you say you don't want to do this, you want to come back and say I made a mistake or you didn't, for some reason, you can appeal my decision, my judgment and sentence. But you have to do that within 30 days if you want to. You don't have to. But if you want to do that, it has to be in writing.
Oh, all right,
All right. All right. Have a great day, sir.
all right. All right. So
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Stanley Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 2021 M2334AO on a charge of trespass after warning. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, you have an offer to resolve Mr. Davis's case this morning.
Yes, Your Honor, an adjudication, credit time served, no return to the Florida Mall.
All right. Mr. Davis, do you want to accept the state's offer of adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
I would.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, sir, put your hand down. You're here in 2021 MM2334AO on a charge of trespass after warning. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. You understand that?
I do. Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
Which one is the best one?
No contest.
It says,
You
okay.
you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights in that plea form that you have in front of you.
Which is this paper?
Yep, it's the same thing. You're saying waiving all the rights on that form.
I do.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Not at all.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? All right, can you cover your nose for me? There you go. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
Not at all.
I can't hear you.
No.
All right. Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, you can be deported from this country?
Without verification of ID for the state, that's.
Yep. If you're not a United States citizen, I have to warn you that by entering a plea, you can be deported from this country. But if you're a citizen, it's nothing to worry about. All right. All right, sir. I did have the opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment, sentence, in writing. I'm not going to take any action on your 2020 CF 6789 AO case. Have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Judge. Robert Arcee.
Mr. R.C., you're here in 2021 MO 396 AO on a charge of open container. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Today's an offer for, is this the city ordinance? So it's a withhold court cost?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. R.C., you want to accept this offer from the city of a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs?
Yes. That would be time served, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I accept.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 396 AO on a charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
I would like to plead no contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to be waiving all the rights listed on the form that's in front of you.
Yes, I do.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, none at all.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Depression in the past.
All right. Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your depression right now?
No, I'm not.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, they have not.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes.
All right, sir, I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in this case are $223. I will make that payable directly to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. All right, so you gotta give me a little space between the times I have to see you, all right?
Yes, I understand that. It's not easy. I'm
I
roughing it.
understand,
but
I'm just saying, you
I'm
gotta give me some
getting it
time.
right. I'm trying to get it right the best I can.
Yeah, gotta give you some time, like it's not even been a week, so,
I know. It's
all right,
okay. Thank you,
have a
y'all.
great day. All right, good morning, sir, can you tell me your name?
Michael Lee Bennett.
I'm sorry. Mr. Bennett, you're here in 2021 MO 397 AO on charge of open container. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. And so I believe the offer from the city is a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs if you want to resolve your case today.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir, you're here in 2021 MO 397 AO on charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you'll be waiving all the rights listed on that plea form in front of you?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, I'm not.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes, schizophrenia.
All right. Are you suffering from any symptoms of your schizophrenia right now?
No, I'm not.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, I haven't.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, I do.
All right. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case are $223. I'll make that payable directly to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing.
Your Honor, I believe it's 1 day credit time, sir.
Yeah, 1 day. Ms. Davis, oh, sorry, 1 day credit time served. I won't take any action on your 2021 MM 1599 AO case.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
Am I being released today, Your Honor?
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Just stay out of trouble.
I will, Your Honor, thank you.
Anytime. All right, well. Let's see if we got an interpreter.
Hello, Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System.
All right, we're gonna have to bypass. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll swing back around, but like the 10:30 hour to deal with that. All right, next I have is a arraignment for a Dale Grand. All right. I'm gonna appoint a public defender to represent him.
Will waive and enter plea not guilty.
Division 63, pretrial conference day will be April 29th, 1 p.m., courtroom 12C.
He has 2 cases in 2021 CT 2385 AO.
Will waive, Your Honor, enter plea again not guilty.
Division 63.
Pretrial conference will be April 29th, 1 p.m., courtroom 12C.
Ms. Davis, does he qualify for mental health pretrial release?
You can have him screened, Your Honor.
All right. And his 2 cases, Madam Clerk, want to release him on mental health pretrial release in both his cases. If he does not qualify, then I'll stay his bonds as previously set. All right. I have Panto Herrera. All right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Yes, sir.
Tell me your name.
My name is Pablo Pantoja Rivera.
Mr. Panto Rivera, you're here in 2021 CF 3874 AO on a charge of possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver, possession of the cannabis, was it cannabis? Controlled substance, I'm sorry. Intent to sell and deliver within 1,000 feet, and possession of drug paraphernalia and trespass on property after warning. And I believe it's a reset from Judge Lattimore for the state for probable cause as to counts 1 and 2.
To the intent to sell portion, Your Honor. I was
At least
not
the
able.
1,000 feet part, but my reading of the affidavit looks like the 1,000 feet part.
Oh, from the notes from the ASA who covered it was the intent to sell part that he described Judge Lattimore having issue with, as there were no baggies or extra stuff listed in the affidavit.
Let me see, there was glass pipe, crystal, some crack cocaine.
Personal use.
Hold on. Wait. And So there were no scales, no baggies,
Yes, Your Honor, and it was
and
one large
small amount
rock.
of money.
And then the law enforcement officer said it's known that one large rock is broken up to sell into smaller amounts.
Yeah,
I was not able to obtain any other information from the officer,
okay.
so we would just ask that you maintain the PC on the paraphernalia and the trespass.
Well, I think it's probable cause for the possession. It's just not possession with intent. So I'll find probable cause as account 1 and count 2 for possession, in count 1, possession of cocaine, and account 2, possession of a controlled substance. I'll set his bond in count 1 amount of $2,000, and I'll state the other bonds as set. Condition of the bond, not possessing drugs, alcohol without valid prescription. He's out on bond in 2021 CF 1597 AO. In that case, the court's going to revoke that bond. We're going to set new bonds. Count 1, amount of $5,000. Count 2, an amount of $2,000. Condition of his bond, not possessing any drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. Going to appoint the public defender, represent him in both cases. Yes. So Florida statute 893.13, 6 sub A. 13, sub 6, sub A. There are 2 different controlled substances. One is cocaine, one is, looks like methamphetamine or Molly.
Which count?
Count in both counts. Counts 1 and 2 are possession. Just possession of 2 different controls, 2 different substances.
And I'm sorry, what was the bond amount for count 2, Your Honor?
It's going to stay at 150. And then, I think it's already set at 150, right? Count 2. On the charging affidavit I
They
have,
probably typed it wrong, but that's not what I
Okay.
have. But you tell me what's on that order.
on the charging, it's a conflict between the charging affidavit and what's on the commitment order. So the charging affidavit says $10,000 originally as account 1, $150 as account 2, 100. So I'm setting this bond in count 1 in amount of $2,000. And then account 2 is 150, and then count 3 and 4 are 100. All right. Now revoke this bond. That's the other one. I set it at $5,000 on, and then $2,000. All right. Morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Lucinda Russell.
Ms. Russell, you're here before me again in 2021 CF 3905 AO. State asked me for 24 hours.
Yes, Your Honor, I
Return
received
probable
no,
cause. That's account 1.
I received no additional information and had more chance to look into the case law. There is no PC as to introducing contraband. It asks for an ROR.
All right, the court's going to, I don't know if I have probable cause as the count 1, as the sole count of that charge. I'm going to release you your own recognizance as to that.
Thank you, sir. So I'll be released today?
As to that charge, but you still have the petty theft charge.
Yes, sir.
If you're able to post bond, you're not able to return to the scene of that location, no contact with any victims or witnesses as in a misdemeanor case. But as a felony case, the felony case, you're released.
Okay, so with the,
I'm appointing a public defender to represent you.
how much is the bond for the petty theft?
I think it was $250 yesterday.
I believe so, Your Honor.
I believe it
One
was
of them was $100 and
That was, yeah, the $100 one is gone. I released you as to that $100 case.
Okay,
So the $250 case is still there.
okay, so that's how much period, $250?
Yep, whatever you gotta work out with the bondsman. I don't know how much, what's gonna cost you with them, but if you're able to have, if you have $250,
I have $300 in my property right now,
then it sounds like you'll be able to post bond, cash bond.
so just give you guys $250 and I'm gone.
Yep, just don't go back to the scene, no contact with any victims or witnesses.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So much, thank you.
Have a great day.
You too, sir.
Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Lunidad Alice Cuadrado Ramirez.
All right, you guys got to close that door because I cannot hear anything.
Lunidad Alice.
Dexter.
Closer.
All right, say it again now.
Lunidad Alice Cuadrado Ramirez.
All right. Ma'am, you're here in 2021 CF 3947AO on charge of child abuse. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $5,000. Condition of your bond that you to have no contact with the victims in this case and no unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18 years old. That you are to comply with any DCF case plan that's imposed on you. My contact orders can be modified by the dependency judge in your dependency case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Did you guys receive the extra information for Mr. Dupree here?
No, Your Honor. This is one that I only have that C narrative.
All right.
And I was gonna ask for 24 hours because I couldn't find anything. Motion to approach.
All right, we'll take a, oh, sorry. Oh, so don't give me that. Get that back. That's fine. Thank you. All right, let's pass. We're going to be on ease for a minute, give the state a chance and the PDs to look at the additional information on Mr. Dupree's case. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Ryan Dupree.
Mr. Dupree, you're here in 2021 CF 3926AO on a charge of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. I had an opportunity to review the supplemental narrative in this case and did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in amount of $1,000. Condition your bond with pretrial release. You will have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I believe this happened at your residence, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. No weapons, no firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir? Tell me your name. Put your hand down. Tell me your name.
Ricardo Costic.
Ms. Costi, you're here in two matters. The first one is a warrant from Pinellas County. The judge in that case set your bond amount of $513. Your bond remained as set in that case. You're also here in 2021 CF 3955AO on a charge of battery on a law enforcement officer, battery dating violence, and resisting officer without violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case, in count one, amount of $1,500. Count two, $500. Count three, $500. Condition of your bond, you have no contact with this victim. You have to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any items you have at her residence. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Public defender?
Yes, sir. Unless you're going to hire your own attorney.
I don't know, like, I don't know if I want to get my own attorney because.
Well, you can always do that later.
Okay, yeah, then can you appoint me one for now and then?
Yep. You can always hire an attorney later if you want to.
You get the bond
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm sorry. This was a little bit out of order for us. Can you please go over the bond amounts again?
I'm sorry.
One moment, Your Honor.
I said 2,500, right?
Did you find it?
2,000.
It was in the move-ups.
Sorry, 1,500.
Finished move-ups.
So 1,500 is count one. 500 is the other two counts.
And the
No contact.
warrant is 513?
Yeah, 513. No contact. Maintain civil.
Together would be how much, like, the actual amount to bond out?
Looks like what?
313?
350, 3,500, $33,513.
But it would.
If I can do my math fast.
It'd be 350. In other words, a 10%. Or
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever you have to work out with the bondsman. I don't control whatever charge fees they charge and things like that. If you work out whatever you want, whatever several bondsmen, in the area, they may take you up. So they charge different fees and different things for different bonds. So it's up to them based on your criminal history and everything else. All right.
And
You have any questions about a no contact order?
one more question, is how do I find out if the charges are dropped or like if any charges are dropped or anything?
Well, first of all, you should keep in contact with your attorney. That would be step one. Step two, don't violate my orders until that happens. All right, so you get an order from a judge saying that the case is dismissed. Don't violate my orders. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right, have a great day. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Good morning, Justine Solomon.
All right. Ms. Solomon, here in 2021 CF 3937AO on a charge of aggravated battery on a pregnant person. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond, you had no contact with this victim, no return to the scene. That you not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're on probation in 2019 CF 17218AO. And as to that case, the court is going to revoke your probation on an on-view violation. I'm going to set your new bond at $0 in that case. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in both cases. Have a great day, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir? Mr. Spencer, you're here in 2021 CF 3940AO on charge of battery on a law enforcement officer, assault, domestic violence, and resisting officer without violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Andrea Borelli, Borrelli.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Spencer?
he's my boyfriend.
All right, and do you want to have contact with Mr. Spencer during the course of this case?
What was that?
You want to have contact with him during the course of this case?
No.
All right?
Oh, do I want to have contact?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
because
Are you
I'm not a
afraid of him?
victim.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
All right, did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
Alcohol.
And if something like this were to happen again, will you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
Say, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Spencer, going to set your bond to count one, an amount of $1,500, count two, $500, count three, $500. Condition of your bond is you to have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. Now, I want to explain to you what no hostile contact means. You're allowed to have disagreements. Everybody has disagreements. They don't have to agree on everything. We live in America. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested. You spend the remainder of the time during this case with me here at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that? You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand? I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day.
Your Honor, you're going to do.
Sorry, no drugs, no alcohol. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before any narcotics tests happen, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. I can't hear you.
I live in Massachusetts.
That's fine.
Okay, so.
Just don't violate my orders. I'll tell you like this. Give you this warning. You live in Massachusetts, you're gonna take a flight back up there. It's gonna be great. Hopefully you all will be able to live at peace with each other until this case is resolved.
Okay.
However, if you don't, you're arrested in Massachusetts for violating my orders. It's a long bus ride from jail to jail, all the way down. This is like the Eastern Seaboard until you get here to Orlando. Probably take you about 3 months to get here, all right? So don't violate my orders. My orders still stand while you're in Massachusetts. PTR and everybody else will figure out a way for you to be drug tested while you're there. So just don't violate my orders, all right? Have a great day.
Thank you.
You gonna put on that may return to Massachusetts?
He's on PTR, so just on bond.
Okay.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name?
William Ray Walden Jr.
Mr. Walden, you're here in 2021 CF 3906AO on a charge of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond to count one, amount of $1,500, count two, $500. Condition of your bond, you'll have to have no contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. 1 second. When this happened, you're on probation in 2019, CF 16279. In that case, I'm going to find an on-view violation of probation. I'm going to set your bond at $0 in that case. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case, in that case as well. Get you on to your next court dates. Have a great day, sir. You want to try Spanish? There we go.
Morning, Your Honor. This is Theodore Leal, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has been previously sworn, Your Honor.
Mr. Leal, you're going to be my personal interpreter here in a minute.
Seems that way.
Mr. Leal, I was offended with the headsets on, see if we can make a connection.
Sí, lo escucho.
Connected, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
De Olvis Pérez Calderín. Pérez Calderín.
Elvis Perez Calderin.
All right. Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 3959AO. Sorry, is it 59? Sorry, 54AO on a charge of tampering with a witness and hinder communication and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for the arrest of a witness in a witness booth. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name? Does she need an interpreter?
Your Honor, I believe she may need an interpreter as well.
All right, Ms. Laurel, can you switch to the overhead and we're gonna not use the headsets for a minute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Señora, si me da su nombre y por favor deletree el apellido.
Erlen Castillo. Castillo.
Erlen Castillo. Castillo spells Castillo.
All right.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Calderini?
Señora, ¿y puede decirnos qué parentesco tiene usted con el señor Pérez Caldrín?
Es mi pareja.
He's my partner.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Señora, ¿y usted desea mantener contacto con él mientras este caso está en curso?
Sí.
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
¿Algún incidente similar a este ha sucedido en el pasado?
No.
No.
Are you afraid of him?
¿Usted le tiene temor a él?
No.
No.
If something like this were to happen again, would you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Si algo así sucediera otra vez, ¿estaría usted dispuesta a llamar a las autoridades?
Sí.
Yes.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
¿Usted piensa que quizá en este incidente estuvo de por medio el alcohol?
No.
No.
All right. All right, Mr. Caldron, I'm going to set your bond in count one amount of $500, count two in amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision.
Así que bien, lo que voy a hacer es que le voy a otorgar la fianza. Por el cargo número 1, la fianza es de $500. Por el cargo número 2 es de $250 y quedará usted bajo la supervisión del Departamento de Libertad Provisional.
Okay.
You should have no hostile contact with the victim in this case.
No debe tener ningún contacto hostil con la víctima en este caso.
¿Cómo?
That means that you're allowed to have disagreements with your partner. Those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you is going to call law enforcement.
Es cierto que quizás ustedes lleguen a tener desacuerdos y eso es lo que precisamente significa el contacto sin hostilidad. Pero que ese contacto no debe llegar al punto de que si que hay un desacuerdo se suscite una situación violenta o una situación en la que hayan amenazas que ameriten que la persona tenga que llamar a la policía o que cualquier otra persona que ve y escuche lo que esté pasando sienta la necesidad de llamar a la policía.
Because if law enforcement is called, you will be arrested and you spend the remaining of this case with me here at the Orange County Jail.
Porque si eso llegara a suceder y la policía llega y lo arresta, usted estaría entonces aquí otra vez en la cárcel del condado de Orange.
You do not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Se le prohíbe el porte y uso de armas. Si acaso tiene armas, tiene que entregarlas a las 24 horas de su liberación al departamento de la policía.
I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day.
Yeah, I don't have any. Y le voy a decir al defensor público para que lo represente.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hasta luego. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Rolón Rivera Marianito.
Rolón Rivera Marianito.
Mr. Roland Rivera, you're here in 2021 CF 3891AO on the charge of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $5,000. Additionally, your bond had no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're on federal probation, sir, so you may not be released if the United States government takes you into custody before that happens. You have any questions about the no contact order?
Mi pregunta es, si una persona que te renta un cuarto por unos días, eso es una pareja consensual. Y si uno se quiere ir de la casa para un hotel, eso fue la situación que hubo problema, porque ella no es mi pareja.
Well, my question is, if a person you're just renting a room from, that doesn't really constitute being a partner in a relationship, and if at any given point I just have a desire to move out and go to a hotel, well, that was the situation that
Mr.
occurred.
Interpreter.
That was
Can you please advise the client not to talk about the facts of the case? It can be used against him later.
I don't care where you go, sir. As long as it's not, you maintain a separate residence from the victim. You can go anywhere you want to go, as long as you're not living in the same house as the victim. In the same room, in a room in the same house, it's the same thing. Don't live in the same, you cannot maintain the same residence as the victim. So you want to move to a hotel, go move to a hotel. You can go one time to back to the residence to get any personal items you have, but it has to be with law enforcement. If you go there without law enforcement, you'll be arrested. But you may not get out because the federal government probably filed violation of probation against you. And you got to go see a district judge in downtown.
No tengo fianza.
So I get no bond?
No, your bond is $5,000 as in this case. But I don't control what happens with the federal government. I work for the state of Florida. The federal government decided to hold you indefinitely until your case is resolved for your violation of probation. Okay, somebody tell me before we get started, Mr. Castillo, is this prior DV arrest with the same victim?
1 second, Your Honor.
Sir, can you tell me your name?
Carlos Fernando Castillo.
Carlos Fernando Castillo.
Mr. Castillo, you're here in 2021 MM 2333AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor, he has 2 prior DV battery arrests, 2007, and it was Claudia Bautista, and the 21 misdemeanor battery DV arrest that he's sitting on now is Ms. Bautista. So the 07 prior DV battery is the same victim.
All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. Conditioning your bond with pretrial release in this case. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Julio Castro.
Julio Castro.
Can we see, do the victims need interpreters? Before I get started here.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
All right. Ms. L'Oreal, can you switch to the overhead? Because I have some witnesses that are going to need your services as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you're here in 2021 MM 2335AO on 2 counts of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case and I found probable cause for your arrest.
Señor Julio, he revisado aquí los documentos que me han entregado y he determinado que hay indicios de culpabilidad que justifican su arresto.
All right. Can I have, we'll start to the right. Tell me your name and spell your last name.
Señor, está a la derecha, da su nombre y deletrea el apellido.
Josué Castro. C-A-S-T-R-O.
Josué Castro, C-A-S-T-R-O.
Mr. Castro, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
¿Usted puede levantar la mano derecha para que preste juramento?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Juro y prometo que el testimonio que dará usted en esta causa será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con la ayuda de Dios.
Sí.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, how do you know Mr. Castrillo Garcia?
Y señor, ¿cómo es que usted conoce al señor Castro García?
Mi papá.
My dad.
All right. Do you want to have contact with your dad during the course of this case?
¿Desea usted mantener contacto con su papá en el transcurso de este caso?
No.
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
¿Usted cree que este incidente fue producto del consumo del alcohol?
No.
No.
All right, ma'am. Listen. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Ahora, si me da su nombre y deletree su apellido.
Guadalit Díaz, D-I-A-Z.
All right.
Díaz, D-I-A-S.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in, ma'am?
Mete la mano derecha para que preste juramento, señor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Juro solemnemente y promete que el testimonio que dará será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con la ayuda de Dios.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Castro Garcia?
¿Puede decirnos qué parentesco tiene usted con el señor Castro García?
Es mi esposo.
My husband.
All right. Do you want to have contact with your husband during the course of this incident?
¿Desea usted mantener contacto con su esposo en el transcurso de este caso?
No.
No.
Okay. Has anything like this happened in the past?
¿Algo similar ha sucedido antes en el pasado?
Sí, pero nunca lo reporté.
Yes, but I never reported it.
Okay. And did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
¿Usted cree que este incidente fue producto de consumo de alcohol o de drogas?
No.
No.
All right, Mr. Castro Garcia, I want to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $500 and count 2 in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision.
Bien, señor Castro García, le voy a otorgar fianzas. Por el caso número 1, la fianza de $500. Caso número 2, la fianza de $500. Y quedará usted bajo la supervisión del Departamento de Libertad Provisional.
You have to have absolutely no contact with the victims in this case.
Y se le prohíbe determinantemente el contacto con las víctimas de este caso.
You need to maintain a separate residence from these victims.
Tendrá que mantener residencia por separado de estas víctimas.
I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence.
Yo le voy a permitir que usted regrese a la residencia una sola vez, escoltado por la fuerza pública para que recoja sus efectos personales.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
También se le prohíbe el uso o porte de armas de fuego. Cualquier arma que tenga tiene que entregarlas al departamento de la policía a las 24 horas de su liberación.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Voy a asignar al defensor público para que lo represente.
You have any questions about the no contact order?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta sobre esta orden de prohibición de contacto? No.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Buen día, señor.
Hello, sir, can you tell me your name?
Es 626-81. Oh, Jesús Olvera.
Jesús Olvera.
Olvera. Olvera.
Olvera.
Sí.
Yeah. Ms. Olvera, you're here in 2021 MM2337AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case at about $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. That you have no contact with the victim in this case. That you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Name?
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Sí. Héctor Mercado.
Edwin Mercado.
Mr. Mercado, you're here in 2021 CT 293AA on charge of driver's license suspended as a subsequent offender. I did review the charging affidavit. I did find probable cause for your arrest. That you have an offer for Mr. Mercado to resolve his case today?
Yes, Your Honor, a withhold of adjudication and a credit time served.
On a subsequent, as a driver's license suspended as a subsequent
I
offender?
believe his subsequent, per looking at CCIS in our system, was a TR without
Okay.
knowledge.
All right. So do you want to just amend it to 322.342A? What is, I'll make it easy. I'll find probable cause that he, for 322.342A, as his regular driver license suspended.
Okay.
Mr. Mercado, do you want to take the state's offer of a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs to resolve your case today?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, sir. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Lo juro.
I do.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 CT 293AA on charge of driver license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable by 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
No contest.
No entiendo la palabra.
I do not understand that word.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest? No contest is saying I don't agree with the facts, but I want to resolve my case. Guilty is saying I did it.
Sí.
Yes.
So which one do you want it to do? Guilty or no contest?
No sé cuál tomar. No sé cuál tomar porque si estaba manejando con la licencia suspendida, me imagino culpable.
Well, since I was driving with the license, I suppose I'm guilty.
Okay. Do you understand by entering a plea of guilty, you're going to waive the rights that are listed on that plea form there in front of you?
Excuse me?
There's a plea form in front of you in Spanish. Did you read it? Did you understand that you're waiving the rights on that form? The same copy they gave you? Same thing.
Sí, pero no sé leer.
Yes, but I don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read? All right, do you understand that you're waiving the right to have a trial in this case where the state is going to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to have an attorney appointed to represent you? You gotta be yes or no. Can't be C or no. No, I can't.
Yes.
You understand that you can challenge the state's evidence, you can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf.
Sí.
Yes.
If there was a witness you wanted to call and that witness did not want to appear, the court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
You understand you're waiving your right to remain silent as to this case?
Sí.
Yes.
You understand you're waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose?
Sí.
Yes.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, you can be deported from this country.
Sí.
Yes.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
A mí me dan ataque epiléptico.
I do get epileptic episodes.
Okay. Are you suffering from the symptoms of your epilepsy right now? I did have the opportunity to view the charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of guilty in this case. Find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case at $301. I will give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, I just want you to advise the defendant that he does have a fugitive warrant that's holding him, so he won't be released.
All right. I guess, Mr. Mercado, I didn't have any information, so I didn't know what that was about. I guess there's, where it's from, what state?
Puerto Rico.
You have a fugitive warrant from the province of Puerto Rico that maybe is holding you, so you may not be able to be released on this case until you resolve that fugitive warrant.
Yo no lo sabía, por eso yo vivo acá.
I didn't know that. I actually live here.
Yeah, I don't know. We got the sheriff's office will be by to talk to you about your options. Probably may see you back later this week if not. Have a great day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next person I had was Rachel Farmer.
One more until.
All right. You know who? All right. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Eric Hernandez.
Dina Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, you're here in 2021 MM 2342AO on charge of violation of domestic violence injunction. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, it did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this matter around $10,000. Condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim. You need to not return to the victim's residence. You need to comply with any injunction that's been placed on you and have the number. Is this a PTR really violation, not or release violation?
No,
Does he have an actual injunction number?
a violation of domestic injunction.
I think it's 21 DR 1127 in Osceola. You need to abide by that injunction. Not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're out on bond in Osceola County case 2021 CF 918AO. In that case, the court's going to revoke that bond. We're going to set a new bond at $0. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases. Have a great day, sir.
Yo le puedo decir que yo llamé a la casa de mi hermano para hablar con él y me contestó la esposa. Y la esposa le pregunté por mis hijos y ahí fue el problema.
Yeah, I called my brother, and it was the wife actually the one that answered the phone, and I was asking about my children, and that's what caused the whole problem.
Well, sir, there's an injunction in place. It means zero, absolutely, none whatsoever, any form, by mistake, absolutely. If you call somewhere where she's going to be, where she's not, no contact. All right? So there's a dependency judge, obviously working in this situation that can handle your child situation, but you need to wait till you hear from that judge and get in front of them. If you do what you do again, if you're able to get out, as if the judge in Osceola allows you out, you'll be arrested again. Until you can get in front of the judge, they get a shared custody order in place, or a temporary shared custody order in place. Don't violate my orders, but don't violate the judge in Osceola's orders. All right? Have a great day.
Thank you.
What you got? Yes. Okay. Can you tell me your name,
Mr.
ma'am?
Hernandez?
Yep, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Royale. We ran out of interpreter cases. I'll see you tomorrow,
Your
most
Honor.
likely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
Can you tell me your name, sir, ma'am?
Rachel Farmer.
Ms. Farmer, you're here in 2021 MM 2321AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Desmond Bojukwe. My last name MGBEOJIRIKWE.
Can you tell me how you know Ms. Farmer?
Yeah, she's my wife.
Do you want to have contact with your wife during the course of this case?
You said what?
Do you want to have contact with your wife while this case is going on?
Well, we're from North Carolina for a vacation.
Answer my question.
Okay.
Cover your nose, first of all. Cover your nose. Now, the question is, do you want to have contact with your wife while this case is going on?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
All right. Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
No.
If something like this were to happen again, will you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
Ms. Farmer, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. One, I'll allow you to return home during the course of this case. Two, you have no hostile contact with your husband during this case. That means this: you're allowed to have disagreements with him. You're allowed to get mad if he left the toilet seat up or anything, if he didn't clean up a mess or anything else that happens in your household. However, those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where he's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you'll be violating my orders. You will be arrested. And you'll be spending the rest of your time here with me in Orange County Jail. Now, since you're coming from North Carolina, it'll probably take you about 2 months to get here from going from jail to jail until you get back to Orange County. You violate my orders. You understand?
Sorry.
If you get arrested in North Carolina and you for violating my orders, We will extradite you from North Carolina. You'll ride a bus or a van from jail to jail, where that van has to stop on the way from through South Carolina, Georgia, through Florida, and it's about take you about 2 months to get here. So don't violate my orders.
Yes, sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Shara Force.
Ms. Forrest, you're here in 2021 MM 2331AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Your name?
Ricardo Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, you're here in 2021 MM 200 AW on charge of battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Let's see one other thing. Mr. Martinez, where will you be living if I were to release you on this case?
I'll be living.
Yep, if you can't go back to living where you were living, where would you stay?
Okay, I guess I will find out somewhere, Your Honor.
No, don't tell me I guess.
Well,
You have a
I will
place like
find
a
somewhere.
friend, a mother, father, uncle?
With my brother.
Where's your brother live?
He live on Lake Wales.
All right, you know his address?
I don't got his address, but he lives on Lake Wales.
Do you know his address? Like, can you find it out? Is it in your phone? Is it in your property?
It's not on my phone, but I can find out. I can call it and find out.
Ms. Davis, was that the emergency contact he was trying to reach? Was his brother?
Yes, but he didn't provide an address. He stated it was unknown, but we have a telephone number.
All right. Maybe we can get that sorted out before he leaves. All right, sir, we're going to set your bond in this case about $250. I'm going to place you on pretrial release in this case. Condition that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Check one more thing.
Are you saying that because their residents are close together?
I couldn't tell where they were. It was 329, and then it was 132. But I don't know if it was because it just happened outside or or they actually live at the same house.
They have two different addresses.
Okay. All right, so I'll allow you, well, the order won't matter. You just maintain a separate residence. I won't say to not return because, not one-time return because you don't need it. You guys can't live together.
The owner, we don't live together. I live like across the street from her mother.
Yep, so don't go by the house. What I was gonna say, do not return. I'll say that.
No return?
So don't return to that, don't return to that area where this incident happened, where they live. You go back to your house, you stay in your house. All right?
Oh, Your Honor.
So you want me to take off the?
Scratch them, making no return, not maintain separate residence. So it is no return.
No,
And we're
come
gonna-
on, the one-time return.
Yeah, you're gonna scratch that, cut that as well.
Good morning.
So, I'm so sorry, scratch both?
Yes, and then replace it with no return.
Which both?
Huh?
Which both are you talking about?
So you were saying, because I said maintain separate residence, so scratch that, and then to scratch the one-time return.
Okay.
And then just make it
No
No
return
return.
to the scene.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. All right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Name's Nicholas Wood.
Mr. Wood, you're here in 2021 MM 2336 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. 1 second. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond, you not return to that you not make, so you have no contact with the victim in this case. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, what does that mean? What is, as far as, what I'm doing here?
You can bond out, but you can't have any contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim.
You know what, Your Honor, I have somewhere else I can live. Is there any way I could just,
You gotta cover your nose.
released?
Cover your nose.
Be released?
No, the law does not allow me to release you like that because you're being charged with what the law considers as a dangerous crime. So it can't be straight release.
I didn't strike my brother, so.
That's fine.
He actually attacked.
This is not a time for factual disputes to be solved. We have trials, we have motions that we filed. You're appointed a public defender that can do that on your behalf. But until that happens, this is just my release conditions I want to put in place until that happens. They can be modified at a later time, once you get in front of Judge Shoemaker and you have a full bond hearing. Right now, I'm not set up to do that. I don't have your brother here testifying. I don't have any other information other than what's on this piece of paper. Where the public defender can present more things to Judge Shoemaker. And if you need a modification to my release conditions, that can be done at that time. All right? All right, have a great day.
Yeah, take your paper, step out, that way.
Tell me your name, sir.
Charles Mangione.
Can't hear you. No, just speak a little louder.
Charles Mangione.
Mr. Young, you're here in 2021 CT 63AO on a charge of failure to appear. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $2,000. But I ask the state of Florida to have an offer to resolve your case.
Yes, Your Honor, withhold and credit time served.
You got a prior DUI, so you're still offering withholds?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mango, the state of Florida is offering you a withhold of adjudication and guilt and court costs. Do you want to accept that offer from the state of Florida?
Just talking. What is that? Like?
Well, you can resolve your case today. I can leave you on a $2,000 bond that was set by the judge. It says choices for you. So if you don't want to come back, you want to resolve your case right now, you can do that.
Okay, Your Honor. He would like to take the state's offer today.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 CT 63AO on a charge of driver license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that? Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case today?
No contest?
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights listed on that plea form that you have in front of you.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea? You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes.
All right. I did have the opportunity to review your court file before I come into court, as well as your driving record. I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I did want to enter a plea of, accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the
4 days.
4 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 4 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in your case of $301. Sir, I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. I'm not going to take any action in your 2021 CF 889 AO case. Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
Russell Carey.
All right, Mr. Carey, is it Casey?
Carey, C-A-R-E-Y. They spelled it wrong, sir.
So is your last name Carey? All right. Mr. Carey, you're here in 2021 MM2339AO on charge of trespass after warning. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to ask the state of Florida to have an offer to resolve your case today.
Yes, Your Honor, an adjudication, credit time is served, and no return to the McDonald's.
Mr. Carey, do you want to accept the state's offer of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served in this case?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM2339AO on charge of trespass after warning. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
Say it again?
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
I'd go with no contest.
Okay?
And still have
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights that are listed on the plea form in front of you.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Oh, I understand.
All right. I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit. I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case of $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Sure.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Sorry?
Tell me your name.
Michael Housen.
It's a whole scene here in 2021 MM2340AO on charge of battery in 2 counts. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1 and count 2 in the amount of $500. Set your bond in count 1 amount of $500. I'm going to stay your bond in count 2 amount of $100. Condition of your bond, you had no contact with the victim in the case. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll say no return to the victim, no return.
To Dapper Duck.
Yeah, you just said stay away order. Well, no return to the Dapper Duck bar. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. You need hearing devices, Dexter.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Oh, sir, can you tell me your name?
Lawrence Mueller, M-U-L-A.
Mr. Mueller, you're here in 2021 MM's 37AA for a failure to appear warrant. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $2,000. I'm going to ask the state of Florida to have an offer to resolve your case.
Yes, the offer is a withhold of adjudication, no return to bells, and cost of investigation in the amount of $31 to Apopka PD.
You had it going.
Mr. Mueller, do you want to accept the state's offer of, you said adjudication or withhold?
Withhold, Your Honor.
You want to accept the state's offer of a withhold of adjudication of guilt, credit for the time that you spent in the Orange County Jail. There's a cost of investigation of $31 to the Apopka Police Department, as well as court costs and cost of prosecution amount of $273. Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM37AA on charge of petty theft. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
I'm sorry?
You're charged with petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Do you understand, do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to be waiving all the rights on the plea form that was in front of you?
But I'll still get my plea of.
Yep, there you go. Do you understand you're waiving all the rights on that form right there?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Not today.
Are you are you under the influence? Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir. I was in a coma about a year ago, but I mean,
All right.
I'm still trying to catch up. That's part of my hearing.
All right. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'm going to ask the state of Florida to give me a factual basis because I don't have anything in the court file for me to review, other than it was an information filed.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about August 23rd of 2019, LPO observed the defendant conceal a pair of shoes on his person and exit the store, passing all points of sale without rendering payment. Law enforcement, the LPO approached the defendant and escorted him back to the loss prevention office and recovered the stolen merchandise, which was valued at $55. And then Apopka PD arrived to scene. All events occurred in Orange County, Florida.
All right. All right, sir, I do find a factual basis based on that recitation by the state of Florida for your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the
12 days.
12 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 12 days credit time served. The court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $273. There's $31 to the Apopka Police Department. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. And was this a PD case already? Did I miss that? Okay.
No.
No, Your Honor.
Somebody wrote, oh, Popka PD, okay. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
You too, thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
Hello, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Rochelle Gordon.
What happened to,
Kirk Snyder?
yes, Snyder? You bond? Kurt Schneider, inmate number 21008071.
He didn't bond.
Can we pass on for a moment?
Yes, we can. All right, tell me about Rochelle Gordon.
Yes, that's me.
All right. Can you tell me, all right, sir, you're here in 2021 MO 398AO on charge of open container.
Yes.
They reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I believe the offer from the city is a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. Do you want to accept that offer?
What's that? What you saying, sir?
It's credit time served. Do you want to accept the offer of credit time served?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 398AO on charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a plea form that you reviewed?
Did you? He did get one.
Good one was.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case with me today?
No contest.
You understand about entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights listed on that plea form that's right in front of you there.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand about entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. Can you? All right. I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs, in this case, are $223. I'll reduce those costs of judgment. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. Have a great day, sir. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Kirk Schneider.
All right, Mr. Schneider, you're here in 2020 MM9111AO on charge for failure to appear. The judge signed a warrant. In this case, set your bond at $500. But I want to ask the state of Florida had an offer to resolve your case today.
Yes, Your Honor, an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Comfort Suites, and cause of investigation in the amount of $75 to the Orlando Police Department.
Is that 75?
75, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Schneider, you want to accept the offer from the state of Florida to resolve this case today?
Got time served, yeah.
Yep.
And the bonds, yeah.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're here in 2020 MM9111AO on a failure to appear warrant, but the underlying charge is trespass in an occupied structure. Refusal to leave, that is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights listed on the plea form in front of you there.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You understand you're waiving the rights on the plea form?
No, that's fine. I'm just getting time served, correct?
Yep, you got to waive your rights on the plea form if you want to get credit time
I
served.
waive them. Oh,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
no,
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
no,
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
no,
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
no.
Yeah, you don't understand that, or you?
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm not up for deportation, no.
Yep, you understand, but if you weren't, that you could be deported.
Yeah.
All right. I did have an opportunity to review the court file in your case. I did find a factual basis. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea freely and voluntarily enter. I'll adjudicate you guilty as to the charge. I give you credit for the 8 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 8 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case of $273, and there's $75 to Orlando Police Department. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Have a great day, sir. There you go. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Valentin Guzman, arrest.
Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 399AO on a charge of open container. Did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Be the offer from the city is a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to accept that offer from the city?
I understand.
Credit time served offer. You want to accept the offer?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 399AO on a charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
I plead guilty.
You understand by entering a plea of guilty, you're going to waive all the rights listed on your plea form in front of you there.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Can you cover your nose for me? Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation? You understand if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation from this country?
Yes.
I had an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of guilty in this case, find your plea free and voluntarily enter. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in this case are $223. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, sir, can you tell me your name?
Sean Hamilton.
Mr. Hamilton, you're here in 2021 MO 400 AO for a charge of open container. I had an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Be the offer from the city is a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to accept that offer from the city? Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MO 400 AO on charge of open container, a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that? Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you can waive all the rights listed on the plea form in front of you. Has anybody, are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea? You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. All right, sir. I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea freely and voluntarily enter. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case are $223. I give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment, sentence, in writing. Have a great day, sir. Hello, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Nicole Hartman.
Ms. Hartman, you're here in 2021 MO 401 AO on a charge of open container. Had an opportunity to review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I believe the offer from the city is a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. Do you want to accept that offer from the city?
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 2021 MO 401 AO on charge of open container. That's a,
Can I have a moment here? Your Honor, I spoke with the client, earlier. She doesn't want to take it. We would ask that you release her on ROR based on her criminal history for now, so she has more time.
all right, Ms. Hartman, I'll release you on recognizance. In this case, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Additionally, you're releasing your ROR, no return to the scene of this location. And you need to make all your court dates and keep in contact with your attorney.
Okay.
You'll get a court date when you bond out, or when you leave here. If you miss that date, it'll be a warrant issued for your arrest. You will be sent back here, so you'll be seeing me soon, all right? Have a great day. Hello, sir, can you tell me your name?
Elwood Smith, sir.
Mr. Smith, you're here in 2021 MO 402 AO on charge of open container. That's I believe I did find a probable cause for your arrest. But the city's offering withholds to the adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to resolve your case with a withhold and court cost today?
Yes, sir, please.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're being charged in 2021 MO 402 AO on charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
I'll do no contest, sir.
You understand about entering a plea of no contest? You're going to be waiving all the rights listed on the plea form in front of you?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir, are you under influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
Had an opportunity to review your charging affidavit. In this case, I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment, sentence, or writing. Have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am?
223?
Yes.
You said 270.
I said, and then what did I say?
Yeah.
Is that 273? It's 223. Hello, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jeff Waller.
Mr. Waller, you're here in 2021 MO 403 AO in charge of open container. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. The city's offering withholds of adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to accept that offer from the city?
What's the offer again?
Credit time served with a withhold.
Yeah, I'll just plead, no
right.
contest.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, sir, you're here in 2021 MO 403 AO in charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty, or you said no contest to resolve the case?
Yeah, no contest.
All right, do you understand about entering a plea of no contest? You're waiving all the rights listed on the plea form in front of you. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand about entering this plea? If you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yep.
I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in this case are $223. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment, sentence, in writing. Do you understand that?
Yep.
All right, have a great day, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. I had arraignment for Johnson, 2021 CT 2386 AO.
He's medical.
Is a public defender client.
We'll waive, Your Honor, enter a plea of not guilty.
We'll sign for the
Division 62, pretrial conference, May 3rd, 9 a.m., courtroom 9B.
Dog or boy? D or
The
B?
boy.
Boy, thank you.
I have Lyle, 2021 MM118AW for an arraignment.
Downtown court, Your Honor.
For,
I'm not sure what case he's on.
Who is it?
Downtown.
he's in downtown court. Does anybody know if he's downtown for this case?
1 second, Your Honor.
If not, real Lyle. All right, while we're looking that up, let's talk about Patrick in 2021 MM1730AL.
He's medical.
All right, good. As a public defender client.
We'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 82, pretrial conference, May 17th, 10:30 a.m., courtroom 10B.
Is this Mr. Williams? All right, sir, you're here in can you tell me your name first?
Calvin Williams.
Mr. Williams, you're here in 2021 MM1175BO. And there's like a summons case that we don't know if served or not. Do I know if you state of Florida you filed, the summons was served on this case? It said return the summons issued, return unserved, and then that's for the 6th, so for today.
But I don't think he
Well, he was here, so he's been here for the last, I don't know how many days.
I don't know how long he's been here. Unless he's here for something else.
How long has he been in Ms. Davis?
I have a notice saying that summons was served today. I don't know if that's accurate.
Did somebody come serve you with some paperwork today while you were in jail?
They served me the paperwork, I want to say last week, but I had a court date set for downtown court for the same charge on the 23rd.
Okay.
And they pushed it back.
All right. Well, sir, you're being charged with trespassing and conveyance. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. I know the state of Florida hadn't offered to resolve your case.
No, Your Honor, not this time. It's a true victim case.
All right. So do you want the public defender to represent you in this case?
I have an attorney on standby.
For this case?
Yeah, private attorney,
Who's your attorney?
Harold Thompson.
I don't believe he's filed an NOA yet.
Yeah, I didn't see a NOA.
Not yet.
When did you hire Mr. Thompson?
He should be getting sent the money today, but it should have been done yesterday.
All right, so
I
you
know
haven't
he's got
hired.
a
So
couple
right now, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you since you're here in my custody, and that's what the Florida Supreme Court told me I'm supposed to be doing. So if Mr. Thompson does file his notice of appearance, the public defender's office will withdraw. Ms. George, what plea would you like to enter on behalf of Mr. Williams?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set you for pretrial conference in Division 82.
Division 82 pretrial conference will be May 17th at 10:30 a.m. courtroom 10B.
All right, now back to Mr. Lyle. Anybody figure out what Mr. Lyle's downtown doing?
I do not see any other charges in our system for him.
Did we accidentally send Mr. Lyle to downtown?
I believe that is potentially what happened. The only case that I have
We
open for him.
accidentally sent Mr. Lyle to downtown. But apparently he has no open cases downtown, so I don't know if they took him downtown in this
I
case. for sure.
see, he has, hold on one second. He also has a 20 CF possession of fentanyl and paraphernalia. That was set to plea on the 30th. I don't know if maybe it got,
It's looking like in IMS, Mr. Lau is gonna be released. They time served him on all his cases.
On this case too?
They're all closed out, yes.
Okay, sounds good to me. Well, just in case he doesn't get caught in the clogs in the wind until all that paperwork hits. Ms. George, you want to waive his arraignment? We'll
Yes,
give
Your
him a
Honor.
date to close out if it doesn't.
We'll waive.
All right, that's something for 84, and then if the case is closed out today, then those dates get canceled.
May 17th, 9 a.m. courtroom 4B.
All right, does anybody have anything for the better order before we go into recess?
no, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Tuesday, April 6, 2021.
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you, counselors. Please tell me your name.
Edward Olmsted, ma'am?
All right, in 18-4125 CF, a warrant was issued for your arrest out of Seminole County for a violation of probation, 2 counts of possession of a concealed firearm by a convicted felon. There is no bond authorized on that warrant. We'll notify them that you're here. Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, could I say something whenever you're, I wasn't in.
I would,
Hold on, let me tell you what we're doing here, and then you can say anything you want. But I'm appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and she's probably gonna advise you not to, because this is all being recorded. So that warrant was issued out of Seminole County. I can't change that warrant here today. Only the judge who issued it can. That's why I'm appointing a public defender to represent you, and we'll notify her that you're here, that judge who issued the warrant, but I can't change it. So it doesn't matter what you tell me today, I can't change that warrant. You understand?
Okay, I was just asking you a question, so.
Yeah, what's the question?
Because I was on probation in Seminole County.
Right.
And it wasn't for a firearm, it was for a pair of brass knuckles. That was my belt.
Possession of all right, well, the warrant says possession of a concealed firearm by a convicted felon. It might mean
I violated.
a
my
concealed
probation.
weapon.
Okay, so that means I violated my probation with this new charge? That's the whole reason I was here. I just wanted to get get everything clarified, because the reason I came in, I had a seizure when I came in, and that's how I was known, that's how the warrant came about.
So the only thing I can tell you is what it says,
Yes, ma'am.
but talk to your attorney about it, because if there is some kind of error, they can work to change it. But you also have a capias in CF 5411 for failing to appear for arraignment on a charge of possession of controlled substance and driving while license suspended. There's no bond authorized on that capias, and I'll appoint the public defender in that case as well. So you want to talk to your attorney about both of those, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
I have an attorney appointed to me that I can?
Yes, in both cases. There's a number right there on that paper.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Please tell me your name.
Daniel Baker.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 3777080, charging you with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Another judge has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on that charge will be $10,000. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. You're not allowed to return to the scene. You're not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand? You understand what no contact means? You can't call on the phone, send a text message, send a message through a friend or family. No contact at all. As to 20 CF 9069 and 20 MM 8848, I show that you're out on bond in those two cases.
Yeah, I've been reporting to 33rd for PTR.
At this time, I'm revoking your bond in both of those cases. Your attorney will have to file a motion in front of the trial judges. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Wilkins Cullis.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 39170, charging you with lewd or lascivious molestation. Another judge has already found probable cause for your arrest. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I see that there are two cases, but I only see one. Wait. Let me make sure.
I have two, Your Honor. I can give you the other case number.
I do have it, I'm sorry. You also have a warrant for 21 CF 39280, again, charging you with lewd or lascivious molestation. What says the state as to bond in each of these cases?
Your Honor, the state would just ask for reasonable bond following the bond schedule and given his overall demeanor when reading the affidavit and laughing at the victim.
I'm sorry, get closer to the microphone, I couldn't hear that last part.
Just to take into account the charge, as well as his overall demeanor when reading the affidavit about him laughing aloud before leaving the bedroom when he left the victim, just to take both of those things into account.
All right, I'm appointing the public defender's office in each of these cases to represent you. Your bond will be $50,000 on each charge. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim or the victim's family. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes.
You can't contact on the phone, send a text message. You can't send a message through a friend or family member. No contact at all. I'm further going to order that you're not allowed to return to 5409 Nokomis Circle, Orlando, Florida. Do you understand that? You're not allowed to have any unsupervised contact with any minor children under the age of 18. Do you understand that? I couldn't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Yusuf Dalek.
We have an attorney. Can you call this attorney, please? We're going to see if we can get your attorney on the line. Just give me a minute.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Somebody else is coming to you.
Okay. Good morning, this is Judge Gibson. Who do I have on the line?
It's Jason Bankovich, Your Honor. How are you?
Excellent, sir. Thank you for appearing via phone. I think I have your client here.
Which one, Your Honor? I think we had two on the docket.
I have Yusuf Dalik.
Very good.
This is case number 21 CF 3903AO. Sir, you're charged with possession of cannabis over 20 grams with a weapon, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of a firearm and commission of a felony, and possession of a concealed weapon. Attorney Bankwitz, did you wish to be heard on anything in this case?
Your Honor, I think the only thing that we needed to be heard on was at some point, I believe this came in and a bond was set in the amount of total of, I think, 15, maybe 15,000.
Hold on, Counselor, I'm having a hard time hearing you. If you could get really close to the phone.
Let me see if I can.
I just turned the volume up in the courtroom.
If I'm off speaker on my phone, does it better?
That's better. Yes, thank you.
Very good, Judge. I believe that when it came in, it had a bond, and then at some point, a memorandum was filed and a bond was removed from count 2, but I'm not sure why. So we just wanted to make sure that a bond was set in each count so that he could bond out.
I see that as well. Let me ask the state. Is there a reason that the state would be requesting the court hold him at no bond on any of these counts?
Your Honor, I don't see anything in any of the notes from the attorney that will be handling the case as to why there would be a change in bond for the possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver with a weapon. So I do not have any knowledge as to why that bond will be changed.
And what level felony is possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon?
An F2.
That's what I thought. All right, Counselor, I do think that you're right that he's entitled to bond. So I'll stay the bonds at the original amounts. Count 1 will be $1,000. Count 2 will be $15,000. Count 3, $150. I've never had that phone ring before. Should I answer it? Sorry, I've never had that happen.
You're fine.
Counts 4 and 5 will also, count 4 will be 150, count 5 will be 100. You're not allowed to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. You're also not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition, or have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No contact with any of the other people within the vehicle.
I'll further order that you're not allowed to have contact with any witnesses in the case. That includes all of the other occupants of the vehicle. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir. Mr. Bankwitz, is there anything further?
Thank you.
Not on that one, Your Honor. I know that we had another that I think potentially they were going to call up early, but maybe not.
Oh, wait, you want me to call the other defendant? Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Bankwitz. One more time, did you have something to say?
Your Honor, we had another that were potentially going to call up early.
Yes.
But maybe they weren't. It's Shaquille Joseph.
Yes. So we're done with him if you can bring in Mr. Joseph. Thank you, sorry. I was like, what are you saying? I couldn't hear you. Sorry. I know. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Bankwitz. Sorry, I couldn't hear what was happening in the courtroom.
Your Honor, thank you for letting me appear this way.
Technology, right?
Yep.
Sir, please tell me your name.
Shaquille Joseph.
21 CF 3956AO. You're here charged with 4 counts of money laundering, transactions over $100,000, 2 counts of, hold on. All right, so conspiracy to launder money and structure transactions in violation of Florida statutes 896, money laundering, and then structuring transactions in violation of Florida statutes 896. So you have 7 counts total. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. At this time, I'll stay your bonds as listed in the warrant. So on each count, your bond will be $100,000. Special conditions are you're not allowed to have contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the state have any other conditions they would request?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bankwitz, did you wish to be heard on anything?
Your Honor, we were just going to ask the court if you would consider reducing any of the bond amounts, even if we're keeping count one at 100,000 and making the others 1,000, something more as a secondary offense. But I do understand that the warrant had it listed as that. If the court would prefer not to mess, I can appreciate that.
Yes, I appreciate your argument, but at this time, I'm not inclined to do that.
Yes, Judge.
But I didn't see on the warrant, it also says you're not allowed to have any contact with co-defendants. So you understand what no contact means, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, good luck, sir, and thank you, Mr. Bankwitz.
Thank you, Judge. Again, thank you for allowing me to appear via phone.
Yes, sir, have a nice day.
You too.
Please tell me your name. Oh, wait.
Morris Foster is refusing to.
All right. 20 CF 328580, a capias was issued. Counselor, I'm going to appoint your office to represent him.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
It's a failure to appear on a possession of cocaine, and the bond amount is $250, just so you're aware.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, now please tell me your name.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. Rachel Principal.
All right, you're here in 21 CF 394380, charged with possession of MDMA. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. There is probable cause in this case.
My boyfriend put it in my purse, Your Honor. He went to jail for trafficking.
I believe you, but at this time, okay, so let me tell you what we're doing here today. I'm just telling you there's probable cause for this, and I'm setting your bond conditions, but we're not having any evidentiary hearing today.
I do have bond.
You have bond in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
However, I'm revoking your bond and you're out on bond case.
So I have to stay?
Right. So let me finish, and then if you have questions, you can ask me. So in this case, your bond will be $1,000. You can't have any contact with the co-defendant.
Okay.
You can't have any contact with any known drug dealers. You can't possess or consume any controlled substances. And as to case 21 CF 1021AO, at this time, I'm revoking that bond and pretrial diversion.
Yeah.
I'm revoking the bond. It's a possession of cocaine case, tampering with physical evidence.
But they dropped 2 other charges and only 1 charge.
Hold on.
I don't know anything about that. At this time, you're out on bond on that case.
Your Honor, I would just ask that if you are going to revoke, you just increase the bond amount as.
Please, I have a daughter and a dad that's dying.
Just wait a second. You would increase the bond amount as opposed to holding her at no bond. The last failure to appear, I see in 2013. And I just see 1 misdemeanor conviction of petty theft. And she was working on pretrial diversion from what I saw, Your Honor. So I would just ask that, taking all of that into consideration, she's employed full-time, that you revoke and increase the bond amount as opposed to revoking and setting it at no bond.
Does the state have any objection?
No, Your Honor, that's fine. My only concern is she was out on a drug case and she picked up another drug case,
Right.
for which she was given PTD for the cocaine and then.
Nope, can't hear you. You have to get close to the mic. Sorry.
She was out on bond on a drug case, was able to do PTD, and it looked like she was just referred to PTD.
Yeah.
March 10th. Hasn't completed it yet, but while on PTD and on bond on that case, picked up another drug case.
Right.
Your Honor, but I would just point to the fact that this isn't a violent offense. And although she did pick up another drug case, I only see 1 conviction for her, 1 misdemeanor conviction.
All right, here's what I'm going to do at this time. I'm going to revoke your bond in that case and double the bond amount. So instead of $1,250, it will be $2,500.
So how much to bond out? 2,500?
Right, because you have the new case as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Your Honor. I'll pay that.
Hold on.
So 251.
For that case, Your Honor,
No, it's 3, but I don't know what the state filed.
we
They
only,
dropped 2 of them. I only have 1.
Hold on, let me hear from the state.
Sorry, I'm just shaking. I'm sorry.
we only filed on the possession of cocaine.
Okay, so it's only 1 charge, so the bond will be $2,500 on that charge. I'm also going to order that you're not allowed to possess or consume any controlled substances, and you'll be subject to random drug screens. You understand that that means if you test positive, you come back to jail.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not allowed to possess, oh, I already said that. You can't have any contact with the co-defendant, no contact with any known drug dealers. Good luck, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please tell me your name.
Chisa.
I'm sorry, what's your whole name?
Chisa Hiroko Hall.
In 21 MO 39580, you're charged with an open container of an alcoholic beverage. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $250 in that. In 21 CF 394980, you're charged with possession of MDMA and tampering with physical evidence. There is also probable cause for that arrest. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $1,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2. You're not allowed to possess or consume any controlled substances. You're not allowed to have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand?
No.
So you can't talk to or be associated with any known drug dealers, and you can't take any drugs.
First of all, I had no drugs. Second of all, the beer can was on the ground, so I'm not listening to you.
All right, so then you understand you can't be in contact with drug dealers.
You just throw me in jail for nothing, no.
All right, good luck. Please tell me your name.
Pablo Hernandez Santa Cruz.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 3604, charging you with leaving the scene of a crash involving death and tampering with or fabricating physical evidence. Another judge has already found probable cause. What level of felony is count 1,
An F1.
but not PBL?
No, Your Honor.
So does the state wish to be heard as to bond?
The state would just ask that you take into account, 1, the level of the felony, that it is a first-degree felony. And given the nature of the charges, that it did result in a death, and he did leave the scene, and then he tried to cover up the accident. I just ask you to take that all into account when setting bond.
At this time, your bond will be $250,000 on count 1, $2,500 on count 2. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim's family members. Do you understand what no contact means? Sir, do you understand me?
I'm sorry. Yes, no contact.
You understand that?
Yes.
Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but what did you say the bond was for the tampering?
$2,500.
Okay.
I stayed it.
Okay.
No other conditions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Hakeem Jones.
21 CF 389680. You're here charged with burglary of a conveyance with an assault or a battery. There is probable cause in this case. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ms. May, did you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. State would ask that you hold him no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I believe this is a punishable by life offense. At this time, you'll have no bond on this count, sir. But even while you're in custody, you're not allowed to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses in the case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can't call on the phone or send a message through a friend, no contact at all? As there's no bond, are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck. Please tell me your name. This is 21 CF 2943AO. You're here charged with petty theft with 2 prior convictions. A capias was issued for your arrest. Your bond authorized is $25,000. You're not allowed to return to the scene of the offense or have contact with any victim, co-defendant, or witnesses, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Good luck. Right. What happened? Please tell me your name. In 2018 CF 489480, a capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear for trial management conference on a charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of cocaine, possession of a controlled substance, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's no bond authorized on that capias, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Samuel Leathers.
You're here in 21 CF 3948AO, charged with leaving the scene of a crash with injuries, DUI with property damage, and DUI with personal injury. There is probable cause for your arrest in this case. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $5,000 on count 1, $100 on counts 2 and 3. You're not allowed to have any contact with any of the victims or witnesses in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not allowed to possess or consume alcoholic beverages, and you'll be subject to random alcohol screens. You're also not allowed to drive without a valid Florida driver's license. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir.
Dias Lopez, refused, Your Honor.
21 CF 3938. Counselor, I'm going to appoint your office to represent him.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
There is probable cause. His bond is $1,000 on each count. He's not allowed to have any victim contact. He's not allowed to possess or consume controlled substances or have contact with known drug dealers. Please tell me your name.
Lionel Ozier.
In 21 CT 2540, you're here charged with driving while license suspended. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. For that charge, your bond is $500. You understand you can't drive without a valid Florida driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
In case number 21 CF 3944, you're charged with possession of cannabis over 20 grams. There is also probable cause for that. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. You're not allowed to possess or consume controlled substances. You're not allowed to have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
As to 2017 CT 3394AO, Counselor, I'm inclined to revoke his bond unless you can give me a reason not to.
Your Honor, I do have an offer for that case if you would like to resolve it today.
Yeah.
Withholding credit time served. I know you're usually not inclined to do so, but it is from 2017 before he picked up most of his other history.
He failed to appear on a driving
On a no valid.
charge, and your offer is a withhold?
That was the offer that was conveyed by the original ASA, Your Honor.
I'm not inclined to do that without a reason. Looks to me like he has an extensive criminal history. Why would I withhold adjudication?
It is a non-enhanceable offense, so the withhold wouldn't have much bearing on whether he could be charged with something higher in the future. Also, it happened before most of his other criminal history. Most of his other criminal history.
It did, Your Honor. My client is.
Wait, his last conviction was 2014. So it happened after his criminal history.
He has a 2020 that was no build.
I'm not inclined to accept that, Counselor.
All of the 2013 history is also juvenile history. If you're not inclined and he still wants to resolve today, he can, I guess, plead to an adjudication and credit time served.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
my client just went to court yesterday on this case, and they're giving him a chance to get his license. He's trying to get the fees, so we would just ask that you take no action, or if you're inclined to revoke, just increase the bond amount.
I'll take no action in that case at this time. Good luck, sir. I hope you get your license.
Your Honor, what was the bond amount on the second charge?
The Willis was 500
And then 1,000 on the drugs.
on the cannabis.
Please tell me your name.
Samuel Hadley.
21 CF 394280. You're here charged with aggravated assault with a weapon and with a firearm. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I see that somehow he qualifies for pretrial release. I wasn't inclined to do that unless you can give me a reason, Ms. George.
Your Honor, I would just argue that if you place him on pretrial release, if he commits a new law offense, he'll be brought back here and held at no bond. The last conviction I see was from 2013. So we would just ask that you take that into consideration, and he has 0 failures to appear. So we just ask that you place him on pretrial release. He's not working right now, but he'll also be monitored by pretrial release.
According to the arrest affidavit, part of the threats that he issued to the victims were, "I'm in the mafia."
Your Honor, my concern also lies with he has a no contact with his wife, which is where I believe this incident occurred.
Right, and he was there.
I do not know where he would be returning. And as he is not a U.S. citizen, I know his consulate, I believe, was notified. I'm worried if he's put on PTR that he will leave.
I believe he was under the influence at the time, Your Honor, as well. So we would just ask that you take everything into consideration.
At this time, your bond will be $25,000. You're not allowed to have contact with any of the victims or witnesses in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? So you had a no contact order and you were still at this residence.
Me.
I want to make clear what I mean when I say no contact. You can't call on the phone. You can't send a text message. You can't go to her house. You can't go to any of the witnesses' houses. You can't send a message through a friend or family member. You can't contact them on social media. Do you understand no contact now?
Your Honor.
You're not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition.
I believe we misread the affidavit. The no contact is against the victim in this case.
Wait.
Is against Anthony. The defendant's wife has a no contact against her ex-husband, which is the victim in this case. I just wanted to bring that to your attention since you were relying on that to make your bond determination.
Wait, hold on one second. Let me read this again. All right, thank you for pointing that out. I see that, you're correct. So I'm going to change your bond amount, but you do understand what no contact means? All right, so your bond will be $5,000 with the same conditions. No contact, you're not allowed to return, you're not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. You understand that? You're also not allowed to possess or consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances without a valid prescription. Do you understand? Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
I don't know where the rifle is, but you understand you can't be in possession of that now. You have to answer out loud.
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck. Thank you, counselor.
Brian Miller, mental health.
20 CF 10465BO. Counselor, I'll appoint your office. It's a capias for failing to appear for arraignment with no bond.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Please tell me your name.
Xavier Mitchell.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in case number 21 CF 2482, charging you with robbery with a firearm, dealing in stolen property, and possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Another judge has already found probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ms. May?
The robbery with a firearm offense is a life offense, so state would ask that you hold him no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I agree. At this time, there will be no bond on count 1. I'll stay your other bonds, so it'll be $7,500 on count 2, $2,500 on count 3. You understand that even while you're in custody, you're not allowed to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses in the case. Are there any other conditions the state would request since there's no bond at this time?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck. Yes, sir.
Would I be able to like come back for like a bond hearing? Like,
Yes, so your attorney will have to file a motion. You won't come back here. You'll go to the trial judge who's hearing this case. But they can file a motion on your behalf, yes. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
Johnny Moretto.
21 CF 3935 AO. You're here charged with grand theft. Johnny Moretta, we skipped one. Ms. George, did you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, he just needed to tell me something.
All right, I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Your bond is $2,500. You're not allowed to return to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. Do you understand? You're not allowed to have any contact with any of the witnesses in the case. And as to case number 21 CF 2824 AO, I'm revoking your pretrial release at this time.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I have, mines are out of order, I'm looking. This is Miranda. Who are we on?
Miranda.
Moretta, I have that he's out on bond or on pretrial release for petty theft with 2 priors, and this is a grand theft.
So I don't have it as like
Oh, I don't
box.
have it
I have
either,
it in.
Your Honor. It doesn't show me on my paper. However, Your Honor, I would ask that you, revoke and increase the bond amount. My client is supposed to start as a manager at Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow.
Thank you, Counselor. I appreciate that, but I'm not inclined to do that. He was placed on pretrial release 2/17/21. His last Florida conviction was last year for dealing in stolen property and grand theft and petty theft. So I'm not inclined to do that. Good luck, sir.
Can you tell me the bond amount for the first one, Your Honor? I'm sorry, so I can write it for him.
25.
2,500.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You have to call this number and I'll set a hearing for you.
Please tell me your name.
Michael Patrick O'Donnell.
You're here in 2012 CF 3686AO. A capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear for a jury trial back in 2012 on charges of resisting an officer without violence and petty theft with 2 prior convictions. There is no bond authorized on that capias, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Good luck, sir.
Can I talk to you for 1 minute? Because I got a phone call when I went back to Des Moines, Iowa, from the public defender's office. Said that the my lawyer, the assistant DA, and another individual were in an office for 3 hours watching a DVD from Walmart and said that they were going to drop the resisting with violence. There was no violence. The only person
It's resisting
that got-
without violence is the charge.
Huh?
The charge is resisting an officer without violence.
Right, she said there was no resisting.
Well, at this time, all I can tell you is another judge issued a capias. I cannot change that. So you're going to have to talk to your attorney about that. I don't know if the state is intending to drop those charges, but I can't do that this morning and I can't change the other judge's capias.
You know where the DVD is?
No, sir. Talk to your attorney about it, though. Good luck. I appointed the public defender's office.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
Omar Oyola Lopez.
This is 21 CF 394580. You're here charged with burglary of a dwelling with damage, criminal mischief over $1,000, possession of alprazolam, and trespassing in a structure or conveyance. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Your bond will be $5,000 on count 1 and $150 on counts 2 and 3, $100 on count 4. You're not allowed to return to this scene. Do you understand? You can't go back to this house. You understand?
I understand the bond, how much is the bond total?
Well, hold on. Let me tell you the rest of the conditions of your bond. You're also not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Do you know what that means when I say no contact?
And what happens that she calls me and she's like, oh, spend the time with me and
Hang up the phone. This court has no jurisdiction over her, but I have jurisdiction over you. So I'm ordering you not to contact her. Don't call her on the phone. Don't send her a text message.
She calls me, I can call you guys and tell.
You don't call me, call your attorney. But you don't want to have any contact with her. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. You also cannot possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Ismael Pavon.
21 CF 395980. You're here charged with sale or delivery of fentanyl, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, tampering with physical evidence, unlawful use of a two-way communications device, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Your bond will be $15,000 on count 1, $15,000 on count 2, $150 on counts 3 and 4, and $100 on count 5. You're not allowed to possess or consume controlled substances. You're not allowed to have contact with any known drug dealers. You're also not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Sean Pericles.
You're here because a capias was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 371080, charging you with 2 counts of burglary of a conveyance, 1 count of criminal mischief. 2 counts of criminal mischief. The bonds authorized on this capias are $1,000 on count 1, $250 on count 2, $100 on counts 3 and 4. You're not allowed to have any contact with any victim, co-defendant, or witness in the case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir.
Is Poindexter mental health, refusal, Your Honor?
20 CF 333380. It's a capias with no bond. I'll appoint the public defender's office.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
And I'm revoking her out on bond cases.
She has another case.
She has another one? Hold on.
She has a 2020 as well.
I thought I just did the 2020.
Oh, she has a 28.
Oh, she has a 2018 CF 12221. It's also a capias with no bond, and I'll appoint the public defender's office.
And then revoked her out on bond?
I did. Please tell me your name.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Sorry, going back to that, I just noticed, she has been, it says 2 fads for incompetent to proceed.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. She has been found incompetent to proceed?
From what I'm seeing, she's having competency hearings, and because of that, we would just ask that you take, no action on her out on bond due to her incompetency. She doesn't get, because of the incompetency, it's not like she can plea out, and the courts have found that because of that, either revoke and increase the bond or leave the bonds as is, Your Honor.
Thank you for bringing that to the court's attention. At this time, I'll take no action in our out on bond cases. Ms. Erlene, that's these 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm not doing that now. Thank you, Counselor. All right. This is going to have to be the last one because I don't think we're going to make it. All right, you're Stephen Romano. In 2019 CF 1350780, a capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear on a status hearing with charges of receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification of ownership, 2 counts of that, and 2 counts of dealing in stolen property. Your bond is $300 on counts 1, 2, and 4, and $4,000 on count 3.
Why is that?
I'm not the judge who set the bonds. I'm just telling you what's on the capias, and I can't change it. But I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you so they can file a motion in front of the trial judge. As to 21 CF 394180, you're here charged with robbery. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case as well. Did you want to be heard on this, Ms. George?
Your Honor, for a robbery, the defendant has to take money or property from the person of custody. Here it was the pawnbroker. Second, it has to be by force, violence, assault, or putting in fear. Here it was by force. He ripped it from his hands.
I didn't have any.
For 3, the property has to be of some value. It doesn't have to be of a lot of value, but arguably the baton is of value. And for the taking has to be to permanently or temporarily deprive the victim of it. And intent is a question for the jury. However, I would argue that the intent is here to deprive him of it, at least temporarily, so he can be used with it. So I would argue that there is PC for a robbery.
All right. I agree, however thin, it is there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, Ms. George, I was just anticipating an argument and wanted to make sure.
I didn't see one.
I heard what you said before I did it. All right, so there is probable cause. Your bond is $5,000, and you can't have any contact with Howard Pugh. Do you understand?
I don't know who that is, but yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. No, victim. Y'all, I hate to break. I feel like we could knock it out in a few minutes.
We have like 8 more.
I know. Can we just try a little bit? Let's just try 1 or 2 more and see how fast. We're back on the record. It's 1:28 p.m. Sir, please tell me your name.
Daniel Simon?
21 CF 3210. Sir, you're here for charged with violation of sex offender reporting requirements. A warrant was issued for your arrest, so another judge has already found probable cause in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. Sir, when you bond out, you still have to maintain your reporting requirements. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir.
Your Honor, do you see the first appearance detainer, on DOC conditional release?
Oh, that's nothing, it's just for, us to let his parole board know if the judge found probable cause on his charge that he came in on.
Gotcha,
Then we'll
okay.
send an email to them.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Denise Danielle Vaughn.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 1572, charging you with possession of MDMA. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. Your bond is $1,000. You're not allowed to return to the scene of this incident. You're also not allowed to have contact with, it says a victim, so there must be a victim in this case. You're not allowed to possess or consume controlled substances without a valid prescription. You're not allowed to have any contact with known drug dealers. And I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Good luck.
I'm not understanding.
I'm sorry?
I'm not understanding.
What do you not understand?
I don't understand what you just told me.
All right, so you are arrested for possession of MDMA.
But why was I arrested for possession of MDMA?
A warrant was issued for your arrest.
Why was a warrant issued for my arrest?
Ma'am, give me a moment. State, you want to put the factual basis on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. On or about January 2nd, 2021, law enforcement responded to the area. He made contact with Terrence Glary and Janice Vaughn. Gary advised he allowed Vaughn to stay at her place and to shower and to use the bathroom. He advised bathroom toiletries were missing. Law enforcement was called to the scene. When searching Vaughn, she consented to a search of her bag. They found in the main center console, or the main compartment of the bag, bars of soap, toiletry items, as well as a brown-colored wallet. Also found a small plastic baggie of white powdery substance. It tested field test presumptive positive and was later determined to be Utilone. All events occurred in Orange County, Florida.
Why was I not arrested at that time?
Ma'am, I can't give you an answer to that. I wasn't there.
Okay.
A judge issued a warrant for your arrest based on that affidavit.
Okay.
That's why you're here today.
Okay, so am I going to be able to bond out or am I being released?
I just told you your bond is $1,000, but you can't have any contact with Terrence Gary.
I already had contact with Terrence Gary.
All right, you can't now.
And I've been, and I was arrested recently for trespassing and the warrant was never there. So that's why I'm confused about everything.
I don't know about your recent arrest. I'm telling you what you're arrested for now. So now you can't have any contact with Terrence Gary. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you're not allowed to return to his residence at, I don't have the address, but it's on West Concord Street. Is that right, State?
I just closed it 1 second.
You can't possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I ordered that you're not allowed to have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor, it's at the intersection of West Concord and Springdale Road.
We don't have the address of the home.
I don't have the exact address.
All right, so don't go back to Terrence Gary's house. Good luck, ma'am. Please tell me your name. You're here in 21 CF 392780, charged with trespass on a designated construction site, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, resisting an officer without violence, and burglary of a structure. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in this case. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause exists.
This information was incorrect.
Get closer to the microphone, sir.
This information was incorrect.
All right, so let me tell you what's happening here today. I'm advising you what the charges are against you based on the probable cause affidavit. This isn't an evidentiary hearing or a jury trial. I don't know if the state is even going to go forward with these charges. That's between you and the state of Florida. But based on the probable cause affidavit, there was probable cause for your arrest. So I'm going to set your bond conditions now. You can say anything you want, but everything you say is being recorded and can be used against you later. You understand that? So let me appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Ms. George, do you want us to have a word with your client? I think he wants to make some statements. He can do that. I just want to make sure he understands.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir, was there something that you wanted to tell the court, or did you just want to talk to your attorney?
I'll talk to my attorney.
I'm sorry, get closer to the microphone.
I'll talk to my attorney.
Okay, all right. So at this time, your bond is going to be $150 on count 1, $150 on count 2, $150 on count 3, $100 on count 4, and $3,500 on count 5. I'll order that you're not allowed to return to this construction site.
Yeah, I'm the owner of the construction site. I'm going to take a test or a DNA test to prove that information.
Wait, hold on, get closer to the microphone again. What did you say?
So I'm willing to take a DNA test or a fingerprint test to prove that that site is mine. I went through this matter before, and they asked these guys not to go back on the site, and they did. Name's Kashasa Williams.
I think you tell your attorney that, and they can file an appropriate motion in front of the trial judge. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
My name is Jane Bellany.
In 2017 CF 489580, you're here for violating your community control. A warrant was issued for your arrest, saying that you violated by failing to submit to electronic monitoring on 2 different occasions, March 12th and March 13th. There's no bond authorized on this warrant. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
Ron Roundtree.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 2018 CF 6138 for violating your probation by committing the criminal offense of driving without a license and unlawful speeding in Lake County, Florida. There's no bond authorized in this warrant. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name. A warrant was issued for your arrest in 19 CF 1474180, charging you with violating your probation by failing to live without violating any law by committing the criminal offense of possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver on March 26th. There is no bond authorized on this warrant. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Good luck. That's not him.
Can we pass by Wilkerson, Your Honor?
Yes. Please tell me your name.
Corey Hutchinson.
All right, you're here because you have several warrants that were issued in other counties. So in 22262C, a warrant was issued for your arrest out of Bay County for using a device to solicit a minor for sex. There's no bond authorized on that warrant. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Then in 22262, wait, no, that's the same one. B, another warrant was issued for your arrest out of Bay County for transmission of harmful content to a minor. There is no bond authorized on that warrant. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. In 22262C, a warrant was, 62A, a warrant was issued for your arrest out of Bay County for interference with child custody. There is no bond authorized on that warrant, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in that case as well.
Here you go.
Good luck.
Antoine Wilkerson, recused, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. This is 2013 CF 12732AO. Counselor, it's a violation of probation. I'm going to appoint your office to represent him. I find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today. He's got no bond authorized on that, so.
This is our Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Carlos Morales, State Certified Spanish Court Interpreter, previously sworn.
Thank you. Please connect to the headset and ask if he can hear you.
Sí, ahora te escucho. We're connected.
Please tell me your name.
Tommy Mojica Vasquez. Tommy Mojica Vasquez.
You're here in 21 CF 3930AO, charged with aggravated battery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, and unlawful discharge of a firearm. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Counselor, is count one a first degree or second?
The aggravated battery with a firearm?
Right.
A second.
All right. Your bond on count one will be $25,000. Count two will be $150. Count three will be $150. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Okay. Sí, a ver. Okay. Sí, te entendí que no esté cerca de la persona. Yes, that I stay away and not see them.
You can't talk to them on the phone, send a message through a friend or family member. You can't send a message using social media. No contact at all. You understand?
Okay, entendí. I understand, yes.
Did he say yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not allowed to possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand?
Okay, sí, entendido. Yes, understood. Eso hasta que se va el caso, ¿no? Eso hasta que se va el caso. No, está bien, entendí. Okay, I'm sorry, the interpreter tried to get a clarification on something, but didn't understand. The final, no, la pregunta side is, I understand. La licencia. O eso hasta the question is regarding the license.
What license?
No sabe, hasta que se termine el caso, puedo tener la arma mía para atrás. Oh, can I get my weapons back once the case is over?
That's possible, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
You're not allowed to have any contact with any witnesses in the case. Do you understand?
Eso también.
Yes, as well.
You're not allowed to return to 1306 Moselle Avenue. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay.
You're also not allowed to possess or consume alcoholic beverages. Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
As to 21 CF 3931, you're charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case as well. There is probable cause. Your bond will be $3,500. Again, you're not allowed to have contact with any victim or witness in this case either. You understand that?
Sí, entiendo eso, pero eso es aparte de los otros 2,000, esa fianza es la completa.
Okay, yes, I understand. So, but this bond, is that the total bond?
This is for one case. You have two cases. You have bond in each case.
Okay, que me van a dar el papel del total.
Okay, and I'm going to get everything in writing?
Yes. And in both cases, your bond conditions are the same. No contact, no weapons, no firearms or ammunition, no alcoholic beverages. You understand?
I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
Your Honor, what was the bond amount on count 1?
In the first case, $25,000. And then also no return to either scene.
Y eso el 10%, el 10% de lo que dice 25, 150, 150.
The interpreter, he's speaking with his attorney right now.
I don't know what he's saying.
Yes.
He's talking about the bond amounts. I just don't know what he's saying.
He's asking if it's 10% or 10%.
Oh, that's between you and a bondsman.
Between the bondsmen, you have to talk to him.
Okay, okay, está bien.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay, gracias a usted.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think that's all we need from the interpreter this afternoon.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Are there any other cases to be addressed today?
No, Your Honor.
No,
All right, then court is adjourned. Thank you.